your art is gonna be bad. Now, hear me out. I know that is a bit of a take, but I have been drawing since I was maybe 13 or below. I used sketchbooks, books. I stole pencils and paper from anyone I could. And throughout that time, I didn't really see much progress in my art. It took this year for me to actually see any sort of progress for my art. And I thought, since I've already done a video about what kind of experience I had in the streaming industry, why not give you guys some tips about the art industry? Now, my first thing is going to be about, you know, the quality of your art. I feel like all artists, regardless of the skill, will go through a kind of depressing time where your art will not look like you want it to. You might despise it. I still despise my art, and I'm considered a higher level than beginner, because I can see every single flaw within every single piece. But someone else might not. I think the biggest first thing I could say about a beginner artist is just keep drawing. Don't go fully into studying unless you want to study it and turn it into more than a hobby. But enjoy it and draw what you like. Draw fan art, post, talk to people from communities, talk to your friends, show it off. Be proud of it, because all of the work that you create during this time is going to be so precious for you later on, because you'll look back on it and see, wow, I did this and this and this and this, and you'll be proud of how far you've come. Which leads me into the next thing. Online. Holy crap, that is a scary word, but we're gonna get through it. Online people, especially on art TikTok, which I've spoken about before, are very critical of beginner artists, and there are times where beginner artists have been bullied out of the community because people do not know how to take how to be kind to one another and give constructive advice rather than being an actual bully. And we've seen this before with people not liking certain stylization choices because they don't fit the norm of what is acceptable. And there is a fine line of what is acceptable and what isn't, but that doesn't mean you should bully someone out of the community for that, especially children. Because we're all growing at our own pace, and bullying someone out of something that they love will just make them not do it anymore, and you'll lose someone who might potentially become a really good artist. I can't count how many times I got bullied for my art when I was younger, and had I given up, I don't think I would have been here now. Oh, it's such a big part of my life. And that goes to anyone else who does it, regardless of skill level. So, here's my tip. Be kind to beginner artists, and beginner artists, don't stop posting. Post. Have fun. Make genuine friends. If someone bullies you, that's their problem, not on you. Critical advice is very good though. So do take the advice that you're given, the constructive advice that you're given, and study when you can. Studying isn't a requirement, but it is the foundation of what you are trying to acquire a skill in. And that leads me on to the next topic. What do you even study? What do you study? Where do you go? Where do you come from, Cat Nitro? I spoke to my friend about this because he was very intrigued in art and wanted to know how I did what I did and how I got to the point that I did. And though I don't see it personally, I will give you guys the advice that I was given by other people. Study anatomy. Anatomy is the base of everything. It'll explain how to draw a head, how to draw fingers and hands, and don't worry if your hands look weird, everyone's hands does. It is not it is something that you will get fairly used to. It is quite hard. But aside from that, study anatomy, study color theory, study a bit of perspective. But the biggest part I think people don't really understand when it comes to art is studying people. I've been told that doing studies of people, like go online, find 3D models and stuff like that, and I genuinely stand by that. I think if you can't go outside maybe look online for 3D models of people. I prefer human or realistic, so you have a basic understanding of the foundation. But you can do some other stuff too. You can draw some anime characters. You can draw some anthros if you'd like. The biggest part of that is having fun and finding a kind of middle ground for yourself where you're having fun but also studying and learning. I made the choice of not studying and just jumping straight into furry art and straight into what I wanted to draw, and that didn't take me far, but I still had fun and begun to love and adore the process, which gets into my next program and my next advice. Learn to love the process. If studying doesn't feel right for you, maybe just draw those silly anime characters making a face. Draw the fan art of Naruto or Luffy from One Piece or Dimension Digital Circus. Draw fan art, have fun, enjoy the process, because if you don't, you're not gonna want to study to actually get better at the process. It's a give and take situation, and it is something you'll have to manage on your own and find what kind of balance you'd prefer, and that doesn't get you to burnout. And lastly, just be kind to one another. I see way too many people getting bullied out of the community, doing hot takes like, oh yeah, name an artist you dislike, name an art style you dislike. Like, we haven't all been exactly where the person we're bullying is. It's hypocritical, and it makes me really sad to see, because we're all human. We've all been where that person is, and shutting them down because of the superiority complex, I don't fucking know, it's petty. So, have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Thank you so much for sticking around. Subscribe if you are new here, and enjoy your day.